Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Sunday, August 27th, 2023, and in the headlines, they have identified the racist shooter in Jacksonville, the man who supposedly put swastikas on his guns and said he hated black people and then killed 3 in a Dollar General, again in Jacksonville, on the 5-year anniversary of the Jacksonville Madden shooting. But notice, the shooting was August 26th, and that's the day leaving 127 days left in the year. And in the language of Gematria, which I've been urging people to learn for a decade because you'll see how so many stories are just like this and line up so perfectly. But notice how the shooter's name, Ryan Christopher Palmeter, said to be 21 years old. His name in Gematria equates to 127, corresponding with the shooting on the day leaving 127 days. And of course, for the last 2 weeks, we've been spending a lot of time talking about what happened in Hawaii and 127. If you've missed my work on Hawaii, again, there's a lot to get caught up on, but we've been talking about this since for a lot longer than Maui. We've been talking about why Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th, 127, and the new Pearl Harbor in New York happened on the new Pearl Harbor in New York, September 11th, 2001, buildings 1, 2, and 7 collapsed. And then you just had the new governor of Maui, Josh Green, in New York on the 12th day of the 7th month, the 12th of July, 127, talking Green New Deal, Josh Green. 127 days after The Rock announces the new Moana film about restoring the dying island with the green stone, and The Rock plays Maui, the fire god. And the trailer for that new film begins with a bursting flame from an island. But yes, 127 is this huge number. Again, it's the 31st prime number that goes with the Scottish Rite, the significant degrees, 31, 32, 33. Funny enough, you add those numbers together, it equals 96, like the word Freemason is 96, the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Again, in Gematria, Scottish Rite of Freemasonry is 127, just like Bavarian Illuminati. And the Scottish Rite was created by the Jesuit order, as was the Illuminati. So this number's special. And again, 127 is the 31st prime. 31's the 11th prime. 11's the master number in numerology, like September 11th, buildings 1, 2, and 7. Flight 11 hits the buildings that look like an 11 on the 11th day of the month in the 11th state. September 11th, 2001. A day in infamy, a day a master plan was executed by a code for an agenda. Unnecessary wars, the bringing back of opioid production in Afghanistan, and then an opioid crisis, and again, Rudy Giuliani covering up for 9/11 and the opioid crisis. And again, we got to pay attention. There is a network of people having a lot of influence in this world, and you follow these number patterns around, you see what's going on. You see how perfect it is. And you're talking about the same numbers all the time, as I'm always emphasizing. But yeah, also, if you weren't following my work, if you want to go back to my March 27th video, there's a few videos on March 27th, the mass shooting in Nashville at the private school at Building 33, the highest degree of the Scottish Rite. But out of those videos, we projected that there'd be another significant mass shooting in the news on August 26th. And there was. It was this. And the funny thing is, it's in Jacksonville, named after Andrew Jackson, who died in Nashville, where that last shooting was, where they said 152 shots were fired, only for this shooting to happen 152 days later. And mass shooter equals 152. So does Joe Biden, who promised there'd be major gun reform in the time of his administration, when he was a big part of the 94 weapons, or the 94 assault weapons ban, and also the crime bill. Joe Biden. Been in D.C. for a long time, operating by the code. But yeah, what are the odds, Every day we say the same thing. What are the odds? What are the odds that his name would equal 127 and it would align so perfectly? If you're new here, Gematria is very simple. It's the alphabetic order forwards and backwards with numerology. So there's 4 base ciphers. They're all important. But out of those 4, his full name just happens to be 127. Slim odds. And not by accident. But hey, for one other thing, the other thing we said to watch out for on August 26th, besides another significant mass shooting, was another act of some kind of weather warfare fire in tribute to what just happened in Maui. And then yesterday, on the same day as this, Maui caught on fire again near where the fire happened in Lahaina, and 10 more acres burned up. Not nearly as bad as what happened, but a fire that burned up 10 more acres on the day, leaving 127 days left in the year. After, again, what they just did with the massive 127 ritual. Go back and see the videos if you're new here. There's a lot more to it, but go back and watch what we said last year in New York City on September 11th, 2022, the 21st anniversary of the supposed attack by the men in the cave. You know, we were talking about buildings 1, 2, and 7, the new Pearl Harbor, what this number's about, how learning this code shows who's really running this nation. It's obvious. It's obvious. Jesuits have been in D.C. longer than the Feds. Jesuits in the 16th century with English as we know it and the calendar and all this stuff just synced up ever since. It's a no-brainer, really. They got to keep us divided. It's part of the strategy for ruling over us. And they're doing it. And we're allowing it. And that's got to stop. Until next time.